Hello there.
Hello there.
Welcome to the Pink Milk Show, your podcast for us super fans and those forced to listen to us.
Hello,
I'm your
hello,
host,
hello.
Brian. Interrupting me is my husband and your better host, Tom.
Get used to it.
Hello. Today is Someday, and we are talking the original trilogy.
Happy someday, fun day.
Welcome to our very first episode.
Numero uno.
Or
One.
episode 4, depending how you're looking at it.
Good point.
Have fun. Hello there, Pop-Pop.
Hello, hello, hello.
How are you?
I am great. How about yourself?
I am very good. This morning was how we should start every morning. With Return of the Jedi.
Very true. Very true.
Yes. So, we watched the whole trilogy this week
That we did.
in preparation for your listening pleasures. You're welcome. So, we started one day with A New Hope, or Star Wars, if you're our age. Then we watched The Empire Strikes Back throughout the week, and this morning we ended with the greatest Star Wars film of all,
Return of the Jedi.
The Return of Max Rebo.
Or
that. Oh, Thomas. So what is it about Star Wars, do you think? Why are we doing this podcast? Why is anyone going to listen?
Well, Brian, I think that's an excellent question for you to answer.
Well, I think the greatest thing about Star Wars is that it's fantastic and fun and lighthearted. Yet underneath all that is very serious, weighty, and heavy. Weighty and heavy, that's kind of the same thing, isn't it? There's some great morals there. There are great things to reflect upon, and there are great lessons for our children to learn, and there are great lessons for us adults to be reminded of. And they are eternally hopeful. And many times in life, things seem dour or dire. Dour?
They could be dour in your world. I wouldn't say dire, though.
What do you think it is, though? What is it about Star Wars that has affected the entire world for the last 42 years?
Why, Brian, that's an excellent question. Why don't you go ahead and answer that?
I just did answer that.
Yeah, but you didn't ask for 42 years how it affected the world for 42 years. I don't know. That's a loaded question.
Well,
Wish you'd written down that question before I got on the mic.
we deliver this to you raw.
Live and raw.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case you didn't hear the
Make sure
the
you
tagline, it's super fans and those.
who are forced to listen to us.
You probably figured out who's who right now. That said, I've always been a fan. It's just my fandom is definitely outshined by your super fandom. So,
Is it outshined, or are you just graced with a little extra light?
I am, you know what, I'm definitely graced with a little extra light. There should be some awards in the eternal after for me because of the graced lights.
Yes, I think there will be. You'll come back as a bluey ghost. You're welcome.
Fingers crossed.
So you really don't know. You don't know.
No, I do. I'm just teasing you. I think that...
Actually, hang on. I'm going to interrupt real quick.
Wow, because I was ready to answer the question.
Yes. You know, part of this great thing about the podcast is there are us super fans who it's literally everything. I know I'm not the only person in the world
He's not kidding.
who lives, breathes, eats, drinks, dreams, raises my children, all based on things that I learned from Star Wars.
Life is a Star Wars reference
It
at
really
some point
is.
during the day.
It is that important. Most of the population sits where you do, Thomas. It can mean a lot to them. They really enjoy it, but it is not every waking minute. And that's the point of this podcast. Let's bring those living, breathing, everyday people to the enlightened side. You're welcome. So I think what you have to say is actually probably even more important, because
That's what I always think.
I think so. I am married to someone who is
Shy, very shy.
That's not what I was going to say.
Oh,
Pretty fantastic. I'm told that.
You said it. Hey, I cannot argue with you.
Happy hubby, happy Bobby. All right. So what is it? What do you think? What makes it so special?
I think it came out the right time, for sure. I don't think that. And hey, all you movie buffs out there, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm giving you my opinion. I think it came out at a time where it was the world needed this. I think there was a moral undertone to the entire series, saga. Mm-hmm. And actually, quite frankly, it was just very well written, and it was a really good movie.
So I wasn't born yet, but from the few things there's like the Towering Inferno, the movie about the guy who like shot people from the tower of one of the colleges, I forget. It was the late 70s and the mid 70s. Everything was dark. Dark. The world was doom and gloom. And George Lucas said there isn't movies out there for kids anymore. And that's what this came out. So I think he intentionally made something bright and fun. And studios thought, no one wants bright and fun. They want this. They want to feel better about their lives by watching someone's who is worse. And he fundamentally disagreed with that. And look what happened.
George did good.
He did do good. George does her body good, just like pink milk does your body good. But I think, George Lucas sees into the future. That's all that dude. I don't know how he does anything else, but looks towards the future and figures all that stuff out.
Now, George wrote all this?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes. He had other writers, I guess, in Jedi and Empire, and clearly didn't write the sequel trilogy.
But it's his idea.
But it's all him. And even though he had other people, I mean, that dude is and was a control freak and didn't let it go. He basically still directed all of them. It's his, and the actors, however, brings things, but they are his, and they are great. And I think for me, now with the sequel trilogy, which is still very good, but they're different, and that's all right. Star Wars can grow and change, but what I think made Star Wars so special with where it is now was Mr. Lucas. He's what made it special. He was the secret sauce.
Can you imagine how it feels to be George Lucas? And just from the standpoint of writing a story that became a saga that people truly became super fans over, how amazing that must feel.
Or the pressure.
I can see it.
He's adopted 3 children of his own, and it won't be on his headstone, father of 3. It'll be the creator of Star Wars. And that's got to be an immense amount of pressure because of people like me who expect certain things and then get very angry when we don't get what we want. We take a lot of ownership over it, but it affects us. And
you're a super fan.
It made us who we were. I understand the ownership. I don't like to think that I get mad about things. They're not my stories to tell. I just go, I watch, and I let it take me over. But what do you think makes it so special? Because would you think it was George? Mr. Lucas?
Would I think it's George? I mean, you've got to give him some credit. But quite frankly, if I was not married to you and I didn't spend 12 years with you, I probably never would, because I wouldn't even know who the guy's name is.
Seriously?
Yeah, of course. I went to a movie. I saw it. It was great. Oh, wow. They're having another one? Boom. Here we go. I'm going to see another one. If I recall correctly, I don't think we even knew. And again, I was 7, that Star Wars was going to be coming out with Empire Strikes Back anyway. But when we knew of Empire Strikes Back coming, a month or 2 before the movie, you knew Return of the Jedi was coming. And then when Return of the Jedi was over, we didn't know, and we were very confused why there'd be 1, 2, and 3 when we saw what we thought was 1, 2, and 3, but it was really 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
They'll forever be credited with that kind of back and forth thing to me in my head.
Oh, I think 100%. I think back to 1999 when it was episode 1. People were like, the idea of telling a prequel was so... I'm sure it's been done before.
Sure.
No, I don't think in that level of popular culture. Like, it was easy to people like me. We always knew they were coming. But I remember the confusion. It was just so confusing. And now, it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Half the Marvel Cinematic Universe jumps all over around.
Well, hey, now they have movies where people die, and then they come back and have another movie where half the time they're not in the movie, and then all of a sudden they come back again because, I mean, great movie. Those were good movies.
Endgame was...
Come on. When they all were erased. Sorry, spoiler. I mean, that was pretty cool.
What?
When they all drifted off into dust, half the population was gone. That was really cool.
Infinity War was great. Endgame, not for me. Anyways, this is not an MCU podcast because personally, I would much rather talk the comics because I am also a big comic book nerd.
Big time.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of nerds, you know what comes out on Monday? Today's Sunday, so we don't know when Monday is, but sometime when Monday comes around...
Happy someday Monday, too, if it's Monday.
The final trailer for The Rise of Skywalker.
I hope it's going to be good for you.
Oh,
for you,
my God.
And for me.
It will be great. It will be great.
I'll be sad.
Oh, God.
I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. I think the last couple of movies have been great.
Just
even the standalones.
Solo is probably my favorite of the Disney.
I enjoyed it because it gave you the background. I mean, you knew there would never be another one. I would imagine there wouldn't have been another one, but...
They were planning on 3, I think.
Oh,
unfortunately, it just didn't make a lot of money. So who knows what the future is for that. But, so, like we said in the top of the show, today we're talking the original trilogy. So we spent a week watching the first 3 or the middle 3, however you want to look at it. Because we're original trilogy guys. That's what we grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we're going to start. And the original trilogy is still the heart. That is the beating force behind both chapters, the one that precedes it and the one that proceeds it. So that's where we're starting. And you, my friend, saw it in a theater.
Yes,
in 1977.
Yeah, I remember it was a birthday party for a kid I grew up with. Good friend of the family.
What'd you think?
Scared. I was scared. I was 7, sitting in a seat. And all of a sudden, this guy dressed in a little costume, or a big costume in this case, with a mask on, all black, cape, and he spoke with a muted kind of voice in a way, and he was scary.
Never seen anything like that before.
No, I had not. Nope.
It's so fun. One of our youngest is 5, so he's a very amazing time to be a Star Wars fan. Someone's going to be a Sith Trooper for Halloween.
Yes, he is.
And that was not being pushed on, just so everyone's aware. And he's definitely not my favorite. But
the Sith Trooper or the child?
None of it.
Just checking.
Anyways, I do love watching these with him because he gets so into it and watching someone jump and all the questions. And this kid loves Star Wars. When he was in preschool, we went and drove for a while. We live out in the burbs, and I work downtown, and so he went with me to preschool, and we listened to Star Wars podcasts. And to him, he wants to listen to Star Wars, and I love it.
I believe he's actually watching Star Wars right now as we're recording the podcast.
He may be watching Resistance.
Yes.
So all those people out there in the interwebs and the YouTubes used to say how terrible it is.
The 5-year-old loves them.
Mm-hmm. And that's amazing because Star Wars should be for him, not us. Just so you're aware of where we're standing and where we're coming from on the show. So, A New Hope wasn't known as A New Hope by us for a very long time. It was
Star Wars.
And will always be
Star Wars.
I agree. I can't. To this day, I still can't think of it as A New Hope until I have to think of it as A New Hope. It is just Star Wars.
As the years went on and they started creating all these names, and maybe they were there, who knows? But I only, we were all confused.
Well, you have the right to be confused.
Thank you.
Because when it was originally out, it just said Star Wars. 20th Century Fox said, People will be confused. No. You don't start at chapter 4. That doesn't make any sense. Nope. So they made him take it out.
Mm-hmm.
Then it turned into what it turned into. It was gigantic, huge success. And they knew they were going to make Empire. And there's a story there that's amazing and something that would never happen again. One day we'll talk about it. But then it was re-released the summer before Empire Strikes Back came out. I believe it was the summer. And it had episode 4, A New Hope, tagged in front of it to help announce to everybody, oh, there's something else coming. So I think that's very interesting.
Very smart marketing.
Star Wars has a long tradition of always changing. This won't mean much to Tom or hopefully half of our audience. The other half will understand that we watched the Blu-rays that were released in 2011, I believe. So as I just said, there's been lots of changes to Star Wars forever, from audio tracks to all these things that most people don't notice, but we do. So I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barry. Uh-oh, I just got to look.
No last names.
Oh, yes, it is the internet, and it's going to be very hard to figure out who we are. Anyways, did you notice anything different in this version of A New Hope that you don't really remember seeing before?
No, I did not.
You do not?
I did not.
Because there was a lot. One of which was an entire new scene, and I love how people don't
Which
think
one
about
was it?
Jabba the Hutt. He was never in the first one. They couldn't do it. They shot it, but there was a big Irish guy. I don't remember his name. People out there will send us comments. And I could look it up, I guess. But anyways, they had the intention of animating on top of him. They didn't know exactly what Jabba the Hutt was going to look like, but they knew they wanted a big creature, but they couldn't do it, so they cut the scene out. But I am not one who gets upset about, they're known as the special editions and the Blu-ray things. It is what it is. It doesn't ruin the films. There is one thing, though, in A New Hope that is not cool, as far as I'm concerned, and that was the shooting scene with Greedo and Han Solo. It's been edited and redone a lot of times, but Han shot first. There was a big campaign. There's t-shirts. And in Solo, if you remember at the end, when Beckett comes, what's his name? From Cheers? Woody Harrelson.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
I
when...
didn't notice. Oh, wait.
There you go.
Sorry, Woody.
And this is who watches it. Anyways, he got shot, Beckett. He was going to shoot Han, and I think it was the Kasdan's way of saying Han shot first, and it was this little treat for those of us who would even notice those kinds of things without being a treat to anybody else. And it was awesome. It was fantastic. But that really changed Han Solo's character, which was not... I don't think that's cool. Mm-hmm. Because the Han Solo we meet in the cantina would shoot someone first. Han wouldn't do it by the Return of the Jedi, but he hadn't met Luke yet, and he had forgotten the optimism that he once had that we learned he used to have because of Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your favorite character when you were a child? Because I know who it is now.
Of 4, 5, and 6, or are we still just focusing on number 4? Star Wars.
Let's just say overall, because unless there's very few characters introduced in 4 and look at this, even I'm confused, in 5 and 6.
Okay, so just 4.
Just the original trilogy. Let's go there, because I wonder what movie they entered.
Well, I would say Luke and Han.
Luke and Han.
Why? Well, they were the main characters.
Okay.
And maybe I have to put a little more thought into it. Hey, Brian, how about you?
Star Wars grows and changes with you as you get older, and you look at things differently. But growing up, it was Luke Skywalker, 100%. Mm-hmm. There's story. I think there's reasons, and we can go there. But I grew up in the Southwest here, so I understood Tatooine on a level that Tom, who grew up in New Jersey, I don't think would understand. He, even just being a little kid, and the idea you'd see on TV places snow or leaves change color and fall, like that doesn't exist here. It's always the same temperature, and there can be things that are very desolate. And to want and dream about what else is out there. Maybe that's everybody. But just living in a desert, it was very apparent. And I was adopted by my father, and I never knew who my biological father was, just like Luke. And there was a part of me that always knew that there was something dark and devious going on with my creation. And I always had that fear, and I understood, and this doesn't really stem from A New Hope, but Darth Vader being daddy, I think really resonated with me on a very deep level that lots of kids out there, and probably hopefully our kids, we are 2 dads who have adopted 3 kids from the foster system, and they have their own past and things that they think about, and I think that's one of the things that I hope Star Wars can help them with, because it helped me.
No, actually, well said. Well said.
I think it's one of the beautiful parts of Star Wars, and I'd
agree.
It's one of the things I really like about Rey, which we will get to when we talk about the sequel trilogy. But I think, as a quick 1, 2, 3, because it is impossible to talk about Star Wars without talking about the collective whole. I think these days, at least for me, I can't think of them as individual movies. Rey is a character who I think is a very realistic portrayal of someone growing up with trauma. I think it's interesting. What was your favorite part of the original? Let's just get back to some fun. What was your favorite part of A New Hope? Do you think? Do you remember?
My favorite part, I would say definitely the opening scene, because we're introduced to all these fireworks and firing back and forth and Darth Vader. Then I also liked when they met Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben, for the first time. And
did you like his great dragon crawl?
I did. I thought it was pretty cool.
You know it's different now. But it's still just
wouldn't
rad.
Know, but yes, I did.
It's pretty rad. I love the opening of that movie. You're introduced to 2 non-humans who are already bickering. Like, who C-3PO and R2-D2 are the second they come on. And then all of a sudden you see Darth Vader, and there's like... It's a different world the second that flick starts. Love it. And you forgot the flea market. I love the gigantic sandcrawler. One of probably my very favorite Star Wars ship of all. And you have this big sci-fi epic tale, and all of a sudden they're shopping at a garage sale. I think it's hilarious, and I love it. It's very real world without being real world at all. At all. Let's see. I'm curious. No, I'm not going to go there. I was going to ask you about the death of aunt and uncle, and it's the first one. We don't need to go into current fandom. But I do want this podcast to be for people who can just enjoy the movie, and we don't need to be hypercritical. So if you're one of those people who are hypercritical and visit certain YouTube channels and listen to certain podcasts, relax and just have fun. Just have fun. So I think one of the great things about Star Wars is it was originally not going to be a trilogy necessarily. There was a big, gigantic risk, and it might only be one. So that movie really kind of can tie itself up. It didn't need to go on. They did a great job of tying it up. I mean, they did. A gigantic...
I think that's why I remember what I said a little bit ago. We didn't know there was going to be another one. So we were like, wow, this is a great movie. Great. Boom.
I don't know that. I don't know a world without Star Wars. I was born post its creation. So that's all I know. I grew up with my brother's toys, who I don't think, that's what I grew up with. And
your brother doesn't seem like he ever had any interest in Star Wars, though.
He does.
Does he?
He does. But as you said, I think you said at the beginning of the show, I've stolen the light. And I think even back then I am that person. I am that person in your office. I am that person in your extended family that's like, oh, he's the Star Wars guy. Like, that has always been me.
Yes.
So even as a kid, like, no one else liked it the same way I did. So they never got the attention with regards. But he got football and basketball and all the manly things. I had, my toys and my comics and my Star Wars.
Well, so, plenty of girls like those things too. So I don't know if they're necessarily manly.
Okay. Wow. Here we go.
Me too.
Oh, God.
Might be in trouble for that, but hey, I'm just sticking up for you all.
Oh, politically charged. You and Pocahontas.
Wow,
So-
now you're really going there.
So post Star Wars, we got The Empire Strikes Back. It was my very first movie. I was 1, don't remember it. My mama tells the story of what 1-year-old can sit in a 2.5 hour movie without ever uttering a sound.
Brian can.
Apparently me, didn't even blink. I loved it even back then. That's how good that stuff is.
And we're back.
Someone needed to take a breaky break.
I just needed a minute
So
I could gather my light.
The Empire. Love and light, Tom.
Love and light.
Love and light. So The Empire Strikes Back, May 1980. Do you remember it? Did you see it?
That one I did. I do. I saw it in the movie theater. Saw it several times. It was great. Loved it.
Wait, you?
Yeah. I'm not a movie repeater.
Nope. One and done.
One and done.
Until I came along. Then I guess he was really done. I'm just getting a little bored and I'm tired, so you'll do. Is that how it worked?
Yes.
So, The Empire Strikes Back has the greatest opening of them all. I love the ships in every Star Wars scene. We didn't even talk about that in New Hope. How crazy that ship is at the beginning. But this one, you got these probe droids, and then you have a gigantic Wampa who like mauls Luke Skywalker and tries to eat him.
So tell me, what is your favorite ship, Brian? Since you are so impressed with these ships.
Oh, in all of Star Wars?
Nope. We're on episode 5. Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, well, I love a cloud car.
Okay.
I know that's probably lame and boring, but I do love a cloud car. The AT-AT or the snow speeder.
For the 5 minutes or 5 seconds it was on,
Hey.
it wasn't on a lot. It was just out the window of the Millennium Falcon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No, I'm gonna go with.
I did just see the movie.
I'm gonna go with the cloud car.
Okay.
Yeah, cloud car. You? How about you?
Millennium Falcon.
Or, as Michael calls it, the American Falcon. Daddy, can I have the American Falcon? It's the cutest thing ever. Yeah, I mean, the Falcon is a character. It's not even a ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's a character. Quite literally, once you see Solo and L3's in there, which we just saw Fleabag. We'd never seen that show before, and that has Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I think is her name, who played L3 in the Solo movie.
I hope so, because you just gave her a plug.
You should all watch Fleabag.
It was good.
Fantastic show. Anyways, that's not Star Wars, but it is connected, so there we go. So one of my very favorite things in Empire is the blue ghost of Obi-Wan and the discussion of the Force. It was talked about an energy field that binds us and all that in Star Wars, but we really go deep.
Tell me more.
And I do believe, no, maybe they were in Star Wars. The 12-inch action figures came out. I don't know. I'm not a massive toy collector.
You're not?
No.
So we can throw all this stuff out in your room? Your office, I'm sorry?
No. No. I did used to have quite the collection until I had to go to college and had to sell it all.
And then you started building it up again, and then you had kids.
And then they stole it all.
And whatever wasn't stolen, the dog ate.
Yeah.
You fans would have a heart attack.
Hurt my heart. Anyway, so the thing about the Force, and specifically about the Force and the Blue Ghost, I love. So in A New Hope, you see Obi-Wan basically sacrifice himself to push Luke into becoming the hero that he needed to be, that he never would be if he had Obi-Wan there. Maybe one day we'll go on a deep dive of Luke Skywalker. But you just hear his voice in A New Hope. Then we see him at the beginning of the movie, right after he escapes the Wampa, and he's a very faint ghost. You see him again once he's with Yoda and he's done some training, and there's a lot more to him. And I love this idea that the Force Ghost is a representation of how strong the listener is in tune with the Force. And the more in tune with the Force you are, the more real they become. And the closer you can get to immortality. I think it's really interesting. Anything you ever noticed before?
Oh, that's a question.
Yes.
And I was listening.
Half listening.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
How many of you out there who are in a relationship with one of us,
the super fan,
half listen?
Well, we start off listening, and then it just trails off as the super fandom progresses. And then 20 minutes later, you're asked a question. You're like, Alex, can you repeat that question?
I do have a nice Alex Trebek mustache.
Yes, you do.
No, did you ever notice the Force ghosts and the level of just a voice to a faint ghost to a more flushed out ghost?
My final answer is no, I did not.
Do you find it even remotely interesting?
Yes, I do. You did point it out when we were watching it today. No, that one was the last.
Well, today's
yesterday.
Force ghost actually sat on a log, and he's a ghost, but he was interacting with the environment around him. It's crazy. This introduced Yoda, and it gave me a quote that I live my life by that I'm sure a great number of other people do. It is very hard, and I don't always get it right. Some people have God, church, and a Bible. I have a Blu-ray player, a Blu-ray, and my little green friend. What is it?
Do or do not. There is no try.
Yep. Words to quite literally.
Very much so, actually. Very much so.
Very hard to do. I do work very hard at not saying the word try. Still slips out, and I will most of the time correct myself. What did you think? Do you remember seeing Yoda the first time?
I do.
What was it like?
I thought it was a little nutty thing. I mean, I remember you came onto the picture, right? As this little nutty old
Were you surprised when he was
goblin?
Yoda?
What?
Were you surprised when he was Yoda?
I would say yes. I was surprised at his wisdom considering how they introduced him.
It was a great
test. But even
test.
that, it was...
It was a test.
It was.
It was.
I guess I passed.
No. Yoda's silliness was a test.
Mm-hmm.
It's testing Luke's patience, which Luke has none.
And the viewers, too.
But there's also... what did I... I took my little note here. Talk for a second, because I need to find my note.
Well, you just let the cat out of the bag. You have notes.
I do have notes.
Although he won't let me see them. I keep asking to see the notes before, but...
Hey, audience, just so you know, I do offer the notes, and all of a sudden there's a counter to clean.
We have 3 kids.
There's always a counter.
It's a very, very busy household.
Oh, judge me by my size, do you? I am a little short to be a stormtrooper. And that line, never let anyone pick on me. That one has actually very much affected me too. All right. There's more to me than being short.
You're not that short.
And even, let's get into some queer theory here. And how amazing that is. Those of us, especially in the 80s and 90s, growing up and dealing with being gay and what that means, and the social climate around such things, was I was reminded of Judge Me By My Size Do You a lot. There's more to me than being gay. There's more to Tom than being gay. Is it a part of us? Is it a descriptor? Is it a thing that we can choose to wear on our shoulder and in a way announce to the world that we are? Yeah. I don't know. And it made me feel free to do that. Yoda, as I've gotten older in life, is probably my very favorite Star Wars character because I do think there's so much. That dude spouts out so much wisdom. He's so old.
How old is
and
he?
Wise. When 900 years old you reach, look as good. You will not. So he's somewhere around 900 years old. But he knows how to have fun still.
Mm-hmm.
I I would like to think I'm a pretty serious dude, but we have a lot of fun. This household is chock full of a lot of laughs because
Very true.
it doesn't, there's a lot of serious stuff that's happened in this house and in the people's lives that lives in this house. But we all learn to have fun still because it's a very important thing. And thank you, Yoda, for teaching us how to still have fun.
Thank you, Yoda.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I also think you probably went a little kookadoodle-doo living on Dagobah with nobody there because I don't think he ever left. I wonder. Maybe he did. But I don't think so. I think he got there after he lost to the Emperor and never came back. This also brought us a fan favorite that we're about to see again in the sequel trilogy that we haven't. Really? You don't know?
Is it the...
Hello, what have we here? And if you saw how handsome my husband is, every day you'd wake up and go, hello, what have we here?
Good one, hon.
Lando Calrissian!
Oh,
Oh
Lando.
my gosh.
Well, I didn't recognize the line, but...
That's what he sees when he sees the beauty that is Princess Leia. Every morning I wake up and I see the beauty that is not Princess Leia.
Nope,
but beauty
not at all.
Well, beauty nonetheless.
Well, thank you, honey.
You're welcome. Yes.
Back at you.
Did you feel that, audience? Even if you didn't, he really does make me feel that way, so it is true. I love him, and he's very good. And, yeah. That's Lando. What do you think of Lando?
I think he's great. Actually, I like him. Again, not until Solo did I really know much about him.
Okay.
Never really paid attention. He was always just...
So was that the same
Extra.
character for you? We've gone to
No,
Solo
it
a
was
few
a
times.
totally
So,
different character.
so let me, because it is the least successful, financially speaking, of any Star Wars film, minus the Clone Wars cartoon, but live action film. It ended a lot of things that could have been because it did not make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Some people blame marketing. Some people blame when it came out. Some people chalk it up to Disney still learning its footing with how to handle Star Wars because it is such a different beast. It is not the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the quality. I think I said it earlier today. It's my favorite of all of the Disney projects as of right now. Now, once The Rise of Skywalker comes back, I can watch episode 7 and 8 and look at them very differently. And I'm not even a Han Solo dude, but I really, really, really liked that movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it said a lot about the state of the galaxy before the Empire was around. That was something that we hadn't seen. And it brought a little hope back. It was good. So, but was Lando the same character for you? Two different actors played him. But was he the same character?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
What was different?
He seemed very crooked, very untrustworthy, not very fun.
In the Empire?
In the original movies.
Okay.
But when you got to that character in the movies, although that Donald Glover,
yes,
his name, he's just a really, really likable character. You liked him. You didn't seem to really, I didn't feel like I liked him in the movies, but in Solo, I just felt like I liked the character, and now I see him differently watching, obviously 4, 5, and 6.
I'm looking forward to seeing who he is in 9 because it's going to really double down on who he is. I never didn't like Lando when I was a kid, but speaking of Lando, this morning we finished Empire last night, and Michael, the youngest, the super fan, the other super fan in this house, saw Lando this morning in Jabba's palace in his skiff guard uniform that was also seen in Solo that she probably did not pick up on, but Beckett wore it when he goes to Kessel.
Okay.
Fantastic little nugget there for the people that need to know it and the people that don't. But he thought that Lando was a bad guy when he was in Jabba's palace because he was not nice to them in Cloud City. So that maybe it's for a lot of people, that untrustworthiness of him carried through. Maybe it's going to carry through again in episode 9. I doubt it.
I mean,
he'll be a hero.
Yeah,
like
not.
Straight up, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope so too. I mean, he's a hero. And Tom was
in the original character. The actor is coming back to play.
Billy D. Williams.
Yeah, that's it. He is?
Yes.
Good. Cool.
Yeah. He's been working out for the last couple of years. He has a fun Instagram
Hmm.
account of him pushing the weights. He was in not a lot of health for a long time, and he got back for this.
That's awesome.
Tom was also able to learn of one of the most important characters in all of Star Wars, and that was Mr. Wilro Hood, which I don't know how many of you been to Comic-Cons, but hopefully you've seen the running of Wilro Hood throughout your local comic book convention.
And what he was carrying. Brian, do you want to share it with everybody?
Yes. He understands the importance of ice cream. He may have come from Tatooine and knows what hot is, and sometimes there's nothing better to cool you down than the nice feelings of mint julep going down your throat. Is mint julep even ice cream?
I don't think so. Julep, isn't that a drink?
Probably. Well.
Anyway,
Maybe
he was
I'm an
carrying an ice
alcoholic.
cream maker, right?
Yes.
He was running.
Yep, when they were saying, hey,
Get out.
peeps, get out. The Empire's coming. They ain't coming back because I just screwed over Darth Vader.
Cloud City's gotten cloudy.
But we also, that brought us probably in the top 5 most famous scenes of any movie ever. Right? Really? What? I'm getting an eye roll?
Alex, can you repeat the question?
We are talking The Empire Strikes Back.
Right.
We are in Cloud City right now in
Okay.
a conversation.
Yes.
I would assume in the top 5, maybe I'm really wrong, most famous scenes of all film is here in this film in Cloud City.
Oh, between Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker?
Yes.
Okay, when he lost his arm?
That's what you're holding on to. The hand loss.
Well, he also had that little thing about him being his father.
Yes. I am your father. No,
I'm not really sure.
That's impossible.
Yeah, he didn't really believe it.
I think he did.
You do?
I do. I think
I think he didn't.
he had
He was
seen it,
confused.
but he had seen himself in the cave.
I know, but
earlier
didn't he
in the
go
film
in the next movie to confirm it
with Yoda.
with Yoda?
I think he wanted Yoda to say no.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. He
So
wasn't.
on some level.
I think he knew. I think he knew when he saw himself in the mask of Vader.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of things about who he could become if he makes the wrong decisions, but I
Mhm.
also think it's who he could become. But that could be the same story about me that I shared earlier, being afraid of becoming something that made you that you don't want to be like.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. What did you think? Do you remember that in the theater? Were you mind
Uh,
blown? The Simpsons had the
no.
great joke with Homer and Marge. It was one of their first dates. They left The Empire Strikes Back, and there's all the people waiting in line. I can't believe Darth Vader's Luke's dad, and all the people in the line that's mad at him.
Oh,
That's like quite the spoiler,
Oh, yeah.
you know.
Huh.
Like, and to think now again, I grew up in a different time. I don't know anything any different, but there was 3 years. There was no internet. It was you and your friends on the playground discussing if Darth Vader was really Luke's father.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of wish I was able to have that. It would have been amazing, but that's gone. Doesn't
Sorry,
make
Dave.
it any less impactful
Mm-hmm.
because you still have the eternal optimist learning that Daddy is like super evil. And up until that point, because we didn't really know the Emperor yet, the most evil person in the entire galaxy.
Darth.
Until we learn he's a puppet. And, you know, I want to say, you asked last night when we were watching it, when we were finishing it up, when Luke gets his hand chopped off. What about his lightsaber? Did you know that's the lightsaber, right? Remember in episode 7?
Yes.
So, there's Rey theories about who Rey is, because there are lots of theories about who she is.
Okay.
Still. And we knew that one of J.J. Abrams' ideas for how episode 7 would start was seeing that hand holding onto the lightsaber still floating in outer space. And how did Maz get it? And Rey asked something, I don't know those movies quite as well as the old ones, but asks, how did she get it? That's a story for another day. which hopefully, and they better answer that question at least to some level in episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
But there are theories out there that she is a clone of Luke Skywalker. And that's why the lightsaber called to her.
Who would have cloned her?
The Emperor. If you remember the spoiler, if you haven't seen it,
the Emperor's dead.
Is he though? He's going to be in episode 9.
How do you know?
They all but confirmed it.
Oh,
he's on the poster. He's in it. He's in the movie. He's in the movie. On what level? We don't know yet. But I think he will be he needs to be really big. He can't just, for me, you ask me right now before I've seen the movie, he has to be he's the big bad of all 9 movies. He's the puppet master. He is the ultimate chess player. We will, episode 9, hopefully, will recontextualize everything we know in episode 7 and 8. And if it's really good, we'll recontextualize how we see everything in all 9. That's how it should work.
Mm-hmm.
So, are you looking forward to him being back? Because we're about to get into Return of the Jedi, which is our first.
Am I looking forward to it? I'm curious how they're gonna,
how they're gonna handle it.
Yeah, how they're gonna handle it. What he's gonna actually do. I mean, he did fall down the rabbit hole.
He did. To that long, deep tunnel and spewed out a bunch of
blue
evil
energy.
Yes,
yeah.
Which may lead to episode 9. So we're going to take a quick break before we hop into the Return of the Jedi. And we will discuss that very thing. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We just had a little break with some Robin.
And coffee.
And now we have our gold and our honey. And we're ready to discuss the Return of the Jedi. I guess it's not the Return of the Jedi. It's Return of the Jedi. My very, very, very favorite of all of the Star Wars movies. And Tom's already got a problem.
No.
You don't? Uh-oh. Okay.
No. That's coming.
So I think this movie really is a great one to end today's episode with, because we said earlier that the original trilogy is the heart of all of them, and I think the prequels most affect this movie in its rewatchability, and we're about to see how the sequel trilogy changes this movie and the rewatchability, or how this movie affects episode 9, because we went from Darth Vader being horrible and killing people left and right in Return of the Jedi, or in Empire Strikes Back, to now the ultimate villain. And we realized that Darth Vader was just a puppet to the Emperor. And we start the movie off with Darth Vader speaking with Moff Gerard, who's falling behind on building the second Death Star. And Darth Vader tells him, "The Emperor is not as forgiving as I am." Somebody pretty evil. If Darth Vader's a nice guy. What did you think of the Emperor growing up? Was he just a withering old man?
Yes.
I think he was probably that to lots of people.
Yep.
That was the toy that nobody really wanted to play with.
Nope.
I don't remember if he was
having one.
Oh, well, I definitely did. I just don't remember if he was a peg warmer or not, because I was too young. But I know he never got played with. He stayed in that Darth Vader case because he was just a withering old man to a kid. Now, he's rad and probably the greatest villain ever.
Is he the original character coming back, the actor?
Yeah. So It was the same guy. Yeah,
so
think about this.
He's really old now.
No, he was young. He was in his mid-30s, I think, when the Return of the Jedi.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they made him look older, and then by the time their prequels came around, he was of the right age, and so it's the same actor, and now he's coming back again. Sir Ian McDermott.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Imagine that's got to be a good gig.
Mm-hmm.
You come in for Star Wars, which is already insanely popular, and you think you're in one flick, and then all of a sudden, 20 years later goes by, 15 years. Hey, you ready to play the Emperor again? Only now your name's not the Emperor, you're Darth Sidious. Because that didn't exist then. But it's pretty rad. This movie's my favorite. I remember seeing this movie in the theater. I was just about 4. So I don't remember, but I remember a few things. And what I remember more than anything to this day is my favorite character. It is where pink milk comes from. In our canon, an Ortillion, which I don't know how you'd say the plural, but Max Rebo. Little blue elephants squirting out some pink milk that we now drink up every week and dispense our love for this here with y'all. Jabba's palace, creatures everywhere. What'd you think of the creatures everywhere, Mr. Barry?
I thought it was great, Mr. Barry.
Just great.
Just great.
You asked earlier how anyone is afraid of Jabba the Hutt. He's just a gigantic slug.
He really is. I still to this day don't understand why everybody was so...
Money. He's a gangster.
He's a gangster, okay.
He runs the mafia.
I know, but it's not like if you made a run at him, you couldn't get him. I mean, look, Princess Leia killed him by just pulling a chain around his neck.
It's because she's badass. That's why.
Yeah, but nobody else ever figured that out.
Yeah, he just had him killed. He had lots of assassination attempts. Bib Fortuna did not particularly like him. Bib Fortuna, do you know who that is?
Nope.
The dude with the octopus tentacles.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I
testicle
thought he was his
sacks.
assistant.
He was, but he was always trying to kill him.
Oh, okay.
In the extended universe, anyways.
Oh, okay.
But it's mostly money. Mostly money. I think Return of the Jedi reminds me of the most serialized of them all. There's like 3 very different stories going on. There's Jabba's palace, there's Endor, and there's the Death Star. And I like how all those things come together. You said something when we were watching the end of the Jabba's palace stuff, and everyone had their place. The plan all came together, and it was honestly like it's pretty cool watching how you saw all the little chess pieces being set up during the half hour. I think it's like half hour long scene. And there at the very end, they all had their parts to play. It was really very awesome. Anything there? This movie had the most changes since its original release in 1983.
Well, definitely the very end, because they added what would you say, the ghost figures,
of Hayden Christensen.
Exactly, and he wasn't. If he may not have even been born when the originals
I
came
don't know.
out.
I wonder how old he was. I don't know. I don't know how old he is. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that towards the end. Because I think that's going to lead into episode 9 talk, and there's a lot of opinions on that very thing. That wasn't even in the original movies in 1997 because he wasn't cast yet. That was a Blu-ray edition. I think this movie, Luke, when we first met him, it's Return of the Jedi originally, and it was going to be called Revenge of the Jedi, and there was movie posters out promoting Revenge of the Jedi. And last minute, George Lucas said, no, a Jedi wouldn't seek revenge, which I like. And then we get Revenge of the Sith later. It's a nice little homage to that. But Luke's pretty dark in this. His first introduction, he looks a lot like Darth Vader, right down to Michael thought it was Darth Vader. And was very concerned that Luke was a bad guy. Because he is very dark. He's dressed in black. Even though back then, I don't think we put it together. That was just what Jedi looked like. Where they wore black.
I liked it because he was powerful. He finally seemed to have come into his own when he appeared on the scene.
Yeah. I mean, that dude was able to kind of take down Darth Vader towards the end. Favorite scene from this movie?
When the Ewoks.
Really?
Yes, when they took over the stormtroopers and the like.
I love.
And they just came out of the blue. Yep.
Love Ewoks.
Or the farce in this case.
Yes, love Ewoks. A lot of people not a fan of Ewoks. This was kind of the first rumbles of George Lucas selling out. It was just a kid's movie. All he wanted to do was sell toys. That's why he made Ewoks. And I don't think those particular people don't get Star Wars, as far as I'm concerned. Star Wars is less about
reality and how things would or would not work, and more with the emotion behind those things. And I love that the Ewoks are too primitive, that the Emperor, the master chess player, picked this little forest moon chock full of these little teddy bears because they pose no threat. They still use sticks and rocks and logs, and that's how they fight, and bows and arrows, and they're no threat. But they were, because they had something to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally love the Ewoks. I think they're of my favorites. I think Wicket is fantastic. They meant, but I was also younger, so maybe that's why. But I'm glad that you thought that, because you were 14 when that movie came out, and you still like them. I think we got to say goodbye to Yoda in this movie. That was a pretty powerful scene. I like Luke. There was something that I've never noticed until we watched that this morning on Someday.
And what was that, Brian?
Luke has always referred to Obi-Wan as Ben throughout everything.
Mm-hmm.
And Luke goes back to see Yoda to, I think we mentioned this earlier, to get in the hopes that Yoda would tell him that Darth Vader was not his father, because he knew it. Unfortunately, that wasn't the news that he was given. It was a confirmation. And I think there's a lot of difference between Yoda and Obi-Wan. Yoda is wise enough to just speak the truth. And Obi-Wan didn't lie, as far as in my opinion, but he thought he was doing the right thing by withholding certain aspects of the truth and telling the story from a certain point of view. And Luke's pissed. And so Yoda confirms that Darth Vader is his father. And he floats away and disappears. And then we see Obi-Wan appearing to Luke there on Dagobah. And Luke says, Obi-Wan, for the very first time. I think there was mistrust there. And Luke confided in Ben, the person who looked after him. And then he just realized that Ben was not just Ben, he was also Obi-Wan. And that we get, from a certain point of view. That the story he told him was true. So what do you think? Do you remember the story that Obi-Wan had for Luke in A New Hope? That Darth Vader was a pupil of his until he turned evil and he murdered and betrayed his father, Anakin Skywalker?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Was he lying?
From a certain point of view.
Like, how do you read it?
I believe that's exactly what he said. From a certain point of view, he was telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he was telling him to protect him. He was telling him the truth from a certain point of view.
Okay.
To protect him.
Do you think he could have been protecting himself? The
No.
Jedi are taught to not be selfish.
Mm-hmm.
But,
no, I don't. I think he was protecting Luke.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I don't know. I don't agree.
Okay. That's all right.
Yeah. I think Obi-Wan had, and I'm looking forward, we're going to get an Obi-Wan series, so I hope it really takes some deep dives. And I think Obi-Wan said that to himself because he was the one who walked away from Anakin and left him burning on that lava pit floor. And that couldn't have been an easy thing to do. They loved each other. They were brothers. And I think at that moment, the Jedi were wrong. And I think Obi-Wan understands that. We didn't, we grew up watching these movies thinking the Jedi were the ultimate heroes. The prequels came out and say something else from a certain point of view. And I don't think the Jedi were right either. I think they were equal part to the galaxy falling apart, which we'll discuss when we get into the prequels. But I think Obi-Wan had to lie to himself. And again, I don't think he's lying, but I think he had to convince himself that's what happened so he could mourn his friend personally. And I don't necessarily think that was real fair to tell Luke that way. I don't think he should have told Luke everything right there when they very first met each other, but he didn't need to wait. I think he owed it to Luke to be coming from Luke's mouth, not Yoda, personally. And it makes me a little upset. And I'd be pissed off at him too. But this movie is the most fun, which it had to be. because it was the heaviest. It was the end of everything. We meet the Emperor, who strung all of this along the whole time. Which maybe actually, now I'm saying that out loud, we didn't know he was stringing everything along until the prequels. But it was the end. It was the end of the most popular saga ever.
Well, it was the end because there was the party at the end. So it was definitely the end of the trilogy. Saga.
Trilogy, then.
Trilogy, that's right. That's coming up.
What'd you think of the party? It looked fun.
I thought it was pretty cool. It seemed like everybody was having a good time.
Do you think there was some, like, indoor booze being spilt?
Maybe some pink milk.
Some spiked
with
pink
vodka
milk?
in it. Yes.
That should be what's in my coffee cup right
Always
now.
possible, always possible.
Yeah, so that for a long time was the end.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it wrapped up. And then
We thought it was the end.
We did. There was always hopes. There was rumors that there was going to be 12 movies, 9 movies. It's always changed. So we always held out hopes, those nerds like me.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that came with the Blu-ray release was at the end when Darth Vader dies and Anakin dies. You know, we see Sebastian Shaw playing Anakin Skywalker. We see him with his helmet removed for the first time. We saw the back of his nasty, gnarly head in The Empire Strikes Back when he was meditating. But now we saw him. We saw for real. He was just an old man underneath all that. And the last words he says, basically, tell your sister you were right. Tell your sister. Which is, pretty beautiful thing. He's, thank God, he's thanking his son for allowing him to come back as the good person that he once was. So he dies. We slip on board the Imperial shuttle, take off. Death Star exploding behind us. Luke takes him to Endor, burns his body in a ceremonial funeral, says goodbye, and we get back to the party, and there are the spirit ghosts of Obi-Wan, Yoda, and then Anakin appears. And we, the audience, see Hayden Christensen now from their prequels, who played Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
Thoughts?
Actually, I liked it.
Okay.
Obviously, it was impossible if in the original film because there was no Hayden.
No, in the original, it was Sebastian Shaw, the guy who was in the makeup originally.
Oh, so they switched him.
Yes.
Oh.
So we saw Anakin there always, but it was that guy, just an old man.
Well, now that I hear that,
Okay.
that changes everything. I kind of liked it before, but why, you didn't change Ben to Ewan McGregor, right?
No.
Yeah, why'd they do that?
Open to interpretation.
What's your interpretation?
I
actually, now that I think about it, because I literally just said a little bit ago, I liked seeing them, but I didn't realize they...
I really like it a lot.
Do
and
we
that's
have it somewhere?
Yeah, I have.
We have it.
Yeah, I think it was mid 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have it on VHS.
Okay.
Then we have the special editions on VHS. But on DVD, it was like the mid 2000s, I think. There was a limited re-release of the originals on DVD. So we have that. And then there's pirated versions out there.
It's contradictory. I mean,
See,
now that I
don't
hear
think it
this,
is.
How so?
So if you remember, I've mentioned this somewhere earlier in the show, that Star Wars is more concerned about the emotional aspect, the emotional canon, the emotional response than reality. So this has been a very controversial thing since these Blu-ray releases, because Anakin died and Darth Vader murdered him, betrayed him and murdered him. So Anakin died as Hayden Christensen. So Anakin stopped aging. There was a physical body present that had to take its last few breaths before the physical body died, but Anakin's spirit died then, and was, or maybe even trapped as Anakin, and Anakin is Hayden Christensen. That other person is Darth Vader.
Okay.
So I find it on an emotional level like a very beautiful thing. That's who Anakin Skywalker is, and it, and in a literal movie thing, it ties it back to then. But I'm more personally more concerned with the story than the movies. And although I think Obi-Wan was a bit lying, and Obi-Wan is convincing himself of that, but that is what happened. I do think Anakin was murdered and betrayed by Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he manifested Darth Vader himself, but that's who murdered him. So I kind of like that he is still there. I don't know. And I'm wondering, but anyways, that's the end of Return of the Jedi. Then we have our shot where they're all together, and it looks like a nice, beautiful picture. Everyone's standing together, and the screen goes, and that's the end of the saga. For then.
And they think they've won at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. And so, in reality, the next movies we saw were the prequels, which happened roughly 30 years before A New Hope.
Right.
And that was the whole confusion. Looking back, though, I think that recontextualized how we see the original trilogy. And that's what we watch now.
Mm-hmm.
Or through the lens of seeing it as a prequel.
Right.
Is it still going?
I think it stopped.
It's counting over there. We'll find out if we are still recording. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
We are still recording.
We're still recording. You're welcome.
Newbies.
Remember, this is our first. Anyways, so there are rumors. I think the Emperor's coming back in episode 9. I think we're going to see Anakin. I have my theories of who Rey is. Maybe we'll discuss that before episode 9 comes out. But I think Hayden Christensen might be back, training Rey as Anakin. What do you think?
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm open to it.
You're open. Are you
As
open?
Just a fan.
Okay. Are you open to Hayden Christensen being there now that you knew at one point in time it was a different actor and they went in and changed it?
Yes, I am. I'm open to it.
I think it's beautiful, and again, it speaks to the emotion of Star Wars, which is the thing that I love about it.
Yes, we
and
do.
It is just a movie. We shouldn't have problems with a blue ghost coming back as a younger version of a person who just looked completely different when there's a ghost coming back and someone's looking at a bunch of blue ghosts talking to them. But we're hung up on that. It makes me laugh. But anyways, thank you, Pop. This is our very first episode.
Thank you.
It was fun.
It was fun. Thanks for having me.
Hopefully it was fun.
Oh, wait, I'm going to be here every week.
Thank you for having me in life.
Absolutely.
And on this path that we call us. Hopefully it was fun for y'all listening, because I'm sure there'll be thousands upon thousands of you. It's the very first one, right? You think?
Absolutely. Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitters and the Instagram at Pink Milk House. House is Haus because we're gay. We are fancy.
Not.
We got to split it up. Pink Milk House.
Drink up.
Drink up. Until next week when we discuss the prequels. Thank you. Bye.